Hello everybody, my name is Gentlest Page, and today I will be looking at LEGO set 75299, LEGO Star Wars Attack on Tatooine. The set came out in 2021, and it, well, it cost like 30 euros, and you are now able to find it for about 20, I saw, but 25 is probably about a reasonable price, which is also the price I got mine. Yeah, I found mine really cheap in like the first week it came out. And it comes with 3 minifigures, well, technically 2 minifigures and 1 baby figure. And let me just get into those first, because they are probably the most amazing part of the set. Let's start with the minifigures are Tusken Raider, the Mandalorian Din Djarin, and Baby Yoda or Grogu. Let's start with the Tusken Raider. With this Tusken Raider, it has the head mold, which is a pretty great head mold, and his robes. It's a really good variant. They have improved the Tusken Raiders by using this head mold, although I didn't think the old printed minifigure head was that bad actually. But this one, it is really great, and I would like having like 5 or so of these guys, just to put around in and around Tatooine, probably to make a Boba Fett Book of Boba Fett scene. But minifigure looks really cool. You can see torso printing. Could be used for Jedi kind if you want to do that. Also nice, I believe it's nougat, the coloring of the hands. And its stick, which I totally forgot the name of what they're called. But also looks pretty accurate, although this top part is still a bit weird. But looks pretty accurate. Good to have one in there. And nice for army building, actually. So, let's go on to the Mandalorian, Din Djarin. Where, first of all, my biggest gripe with this guy, I've said it in the other review of Boba Fett Starship, his face print is still lacking, and I totally hope that in the N1 Starfighter of his, where that he gets a face, because we have seen his face even in the first season, so getting his face would be really great. Also, still a version of him with the cape. It's pretty cool gun and a small one, but let's take those out to see his amazing silver printing. Although it's too bad that his silver printing isn't the same as the head, but eh, it, it it's acceptable. And for his arm printing, oh, a bit lower. His arm printing looks really cool on both sides. They are actually different now that I look at it a bit closer up, which is a big attention to detail, and that's what I quite like about this guy. And yeah, I quite like having him. It's too bad that he is now readily available in even a smaller set than this one, with the microfighter of his Razor Crest, which I'll probably get just to have. um, so I would like to get the older version of this character in more sets, but that's like a big hope, which probably won't come true. But that's for the Mandalorian. Also, his back printing does look really cool. Great to have him, although he is becoming a farm boy look. And lastly, we have fan named Baby Yoda, but actually it's Grogu. And this is an amazing minifigure. I mean, it is a really small one, as you can see, and he swivels his head. It is a bit loose, though. That's something, maybe it's just my version, but probably all of them will be a little bit loose. See the Lego logo. And he just looks really good. And his eyes. This is like the perfect minifigure, how, well, all of them should be, actually. This is great, amazing to have. And one pro for this set, which I already will say, is it is a very cheap way to get this Baby Yoda, the Grogu version. Where is the cheapest thus far, and it's really great to have. So let's go into the builds of the set. There are 3 builds. We have like a camp, we have the catapult, and the speeder. So, sorry. Let's start with the catapult. Something just fell over. But with this catapult, it's like the catapult of which they use to defeat the dragon. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen season 2 already, then you should. And first of all, you can see it stands on a bit of a clear piece. You can technically remove it and it will still stand. It's just a bit weaker and then stuff will fall off. As you can see happening right now. So, and also it doesn't really distract. It just makes it a bit more stable where you can actually push on it with it not falling over. And it looks really cool to have. It's not amazing, but it's a pretty cool build where these parts can move. Technically it all can move, but it's supposed to be in like this crossbow configuration. And you have this part which can move, where you can like spin or not actually, but you can enact the way that they would. You can like play with it in that way, and you can technically move this about, although it looks really cool having this like this. And of course it has a spring-loaded shooter, which if you press on the top of it, you can shoot off. It's a silver one, which looks pretty cool. And if you don't like the look of the spring-loaded shooter, take it off, but then there is something missing in here. So I do believe that the top of the spring-loaded shooter looks a bit weird to have not decorated. So also these parts can move a bit, and it's a pain to kind of pain to align them in the perfect way. So that looks pretty cool, but I do believe it does look really good. So let's go on to the speeder. This is the speeder you see in the episode, where there is a place for Din Djarin to sit right there and to clip his weapons. Just like one gun can be placed there, the other one on the other side, and you can sit him in here. You can also try to make him hold on to the handlebars. It is possible, it's just I won't do it right now because a pain. And it looks really cool. And you can also see this little basket. Although I quite like having my basket on Din Djarin to make him hold Baby Yoda, because that's where it's for. And I quite like having it on Din Djarin, but on the speeder also looks pretty cool. And as you can see, you can reenact this scene right now. Although the cape will get wrinkled up if I leave it too long. So, better. And it looks really cool. It looks exactly like, well, how it should look. And it has a lot of dribbling detail going on. A lot of nougat coloring. Or dark nougat is it? And on the other side, just like, oh, it should still stay on. Just like a little bit different dribble. And it looks really cool. Also, these parts are loose, or they're just attached in here. And like a backpack, you can technically swivel this around, but when you place it on the ground, you make sure that this is aligned with the little grip piece, and you have a perfectly accurate speeder, which does look really cool. Looks accurate, looks like how it should be, and it is still a pretty speeder. So that's for the speeder. And the last part we have is like a little Tusken Raider camp, and you can display this in technically more ways, but in two dominant ways. You can display it like this, where it's all the way closed, and you can also swivel it open to have a bit more of an open area. You can also adjust every single one of these to like make it a bit more of an inclined roof, if you like it, if you want to have more space. But they tell you to put it like this, so I will for the sake of the video. And let's start with the exterior of the build, where it's simply just a wall. There are a lot of open places here. That's what you get with doing it like this. And as I said, it does look pretty cool to have, but I would, from a side, you do see the gaps if you have, especially if you have light shining beyond them, or if you have it a bit enclosed, then it doesn't distract that much, like with a Millennium Falcon per se. But if it's open, it looks a bit weird. So I'll display it from like this side and have something blocking the back, so you won't see those gaps. But for the interior, they're just attached with 4 sides. For the interior, you have like a little pan here, and like a plate, some brown pieces like sitting spots, and a campfire. It isn't that hard of a build. It's kind of repetitive. It's not much to have to be repeated, but it's still kind of repetitive. And there also should be a bone piece in here. Let me get one. So there it is. But there isn't really that much going on with here. It just looks really cool to have, especially combined with the other sets. And I have it currently. I have it placed on like a little spot where it just stands kind of like I have them on the front of it, but where it stands kind of like this. So something like this, where then it looks pretty cool. You get quite a lot of stuff for like a €30 set, and especially a lot of play value. Where it does look really cool, and you get a lot of stuff for €30, and especially a lot of play value. Well, let's go on to my thoughts. Well, this is an amazing set, first of all, and it's still the cheapest way to get the Grogu minifigure. Although there is also now the Advent calendar, but this is still the cheapest way to get the official and the accurate version of him. And that's pretty fun. And if I should say if you should buy the set, yeah, go ahead. Although, if you are planning on buying the N1 Starfighter, and if the N1 Starfighter does have a face for Din Djarin, then maybe you should hold off on this one. I personally don't think I will be getting the N1 Starfighter, especially not for €60. I believe that ship should be like 40, 50 at max. And it's also portrayed a little bit on the big side. I will probably be making like a smaller version myself, where, well, more of an accurate size, where they both could fit in, especially where they both could fit in. And so I do think that set is a bit overpriced, but if you are planning on buying that set, then this set is not per se needed. It's a great scene, but if you have the minifigures of Grogu and Din Djarin, then getting the rest, yeah, if you want it. But it isn't a bad deal. If you can get it for €20 or dollars or whatever currency you have, if you can get it for cheaper than the original price, then it is still an amazing set to have. It's like a pretty cool display piece, and if you are planning on making like a Tatooine display, then it looks really cool. And that's why I said a minute ago, I will probably, this is how I currently have it displayed, and I will have like a bit of a bigger Tatooine display going on with, and my pod racers. It won't be canonically accurate. It'll have multiple different things at once, but that's also how my current Clone Wars and original trilogy stuff is standing. So I will have like a combined thing of the Tatooine stuff, which looks pretty cool in my opinion. But that's it for my thoughts, and it looks pretty cool as an addition. That's mostly it. But if you did like this video, there is a speed build of this set, and there is some reviews of other sets and also speed builds of other sets. If you like them, please make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe for Reddit. I do have the speed build linked in the comment in the description. And please tell me which set you want me to do next, because then I will prioritize it. That's it for this video. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.